Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, cause I'm trying hard to love.
In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys some new plants that I picked up from my last video. I did a tour at Vermeers greenhouses and I got some really cute stuff. So I definitely want to show you guys that in today's video. After I show you guys the plants that I got, I also want to go into my plant room and maybe in the front room here, my living room, and just take some propagations for you guys. I have held off on taking propagations for quite a while now, just because I haven't been able to go out and get perlite or sphagnum moss. Honestly, it's really hard to find sphagnum moss where I am, and even if I could find some, it's always really expensive. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to be propagating in water today. I have water propagated before and it's been successful, so I will share with you some tips for sure on water propagation, although it is pretty straightforward. Before we do get into the actual video though, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Ana Luisa. You guys know I've been sponsored by Ana Luisa before, and after all of your amazing feedback, I thought that I would work with them again to offer you guys the best deals. Last time they sent me a few jewelry pieces that I am still wearing, but I did receive some new pieces as well this time around. I am now wearing the Hannah necklace along with the other chains from my last necklace that I got from them, but I thought that it still looked really cute together. Right now on their website, you can get it for $15 off, which is super exciting. I'm also wearing the Chelsea earrings. These guys are almost sold out, so if you like these earrings, I know I've been wearing them in almost every single video for the last month, but if you like these as much as I do, definitely go get them now. They're 30% off and they are final sale. While some people might find that these are more dressy, I definitely find that I can dress them down. I've been wearing them as my daily earrings. I know that's not for everybody, but I've really been loving these guys. So yeah, I've definitely worn them a lot. And then the last piece that I got from them is the rope bold ring, which I also love. I love chunky big rings, and it's really hard to find good ones these days. I find it works really nicely on your middle finger, but it would look good anywhere else too. Right now, Ana Luisa is having their best sale of the year. They're offering 20% off site-wide. And as I mentioned before with the earrings, some of the stuff is even 30% off. So definitely go check it out if you want to get some jewelry for yourself or for a loved one for Christmas. So if you're interested in checking out Ana Luisa, definitely go click the link down in my description below. It will get you 20% off. I also don't make any commission from you purchasing this, but I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed with this jewelry. I get compliments almost every single day on my videos, in person. The jewelry is so shiny and so beautiful. It looks good on everybody. Thank you again to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. So guys, I'm now going to go through the plants that I just picked up from Vermeers. If you haven't already seen that video, I will link it up in the cards for you guys so you can go check it out after you watch today's video. But yeah, I want to show you guys what I picked up. The first plant I want to mention was a gift actually from one of the employees. I will have their name on the screen here for you guys if you want to go check them out on Instagram, but I don't think I can say the name. So yeah, but I really want to say a huge thank you. I really appreciate you gifting me this plant. So this is the plant that was gifted to me. It actually has a really funny name. I believe it's called the Schismatoglotis, and this is the Sarawak. While the other varieties, a part of this genus, do look very different, I almost think this one looks like a Dieffenbachia. If you know what I mean, a lot of Dieffenbachias do look like this. It also gives me Aglaonema vibes, but I really love it, and I'm so excited to watch how it grows. I don't exactly know what this plant is going to look like in the future. From what I can see right now, it almost looks like it's growing like a syngonium, so I believe that it's going to be a climber, but I will definitely keep you guys updated as to how it grows. This is not a super common genus of plants. I don't know if they're popular where you guys are from. Let me know if you've ever seen these in local nurseries before, but I'm totally excited to have this one a part of my collection because I really think these guys are going to be the next big thing. They come in a lot of really beautiful patterns, including this one. And yeah, now I'll show you the next plant that is actually a part of the same genus. So this here is the plant that first drew me to this genus. I don't know why, but I love this so much. It also has these really beautiful frills on the edges of the leaves. I'm so obsessed with it, and that nice center, silvery pattern on there is just gorgeous. This one also looks like it's growing like a syngonium. So I imagine that this will be a climbing plant, and if it is, I'll definitely give it a moss pull in the near future. But this is the Schismatoglottis wallichii. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm really loving this one. I think I like this one over the other one, but I can't decide quite yet. I think I have to watch them grow for a little bit before I make up my mind on this one. As you can see here, it is kind of growing in a plug in this pot, but it will easily push out of that plug and grow into the soil surrounding it. I do think that I am going to be able to separate some plants from this, but I want to let it establish first because it definitely takes some time to acclimate when bringing plants home. But I do eventually want to try to separate this so I can have a few of these little plants. A lot of you guys might be really surprised when I tell you this next plant and that it is probably the favorite that I brought home. It is a really common plant, but I love it just as much as all of the other really cool plants that I got. So let me just show you. This right here is my Syngonium Neon Robusta. So if you've ever seen a really pink Syngonium, this is probably it. It is a very common plant. You can find it at almost any nursery or even grocery store that sells Syngoniums. It's probably the second most popular behind the white butterfly, but I really love it. I love how those leaves come in. I also love how quickly these guys mature. Not specifically this plant, but Syngoniums in general, they just seem to mature really quickly. Some of the leaves come in with less pink, and I actually feel like I like these ones better, where they almost have green and pink splashing. This definitely isn't like a pink splash or anything like that, but I like these leaves a lot that come in green with the pink veining. This thing is also just such a bush, which makes me like it even more. I love full plants, and I love it in this little pot. It's just like a kind of beige colored pot you can't really see in this lighting. I haven't really found a spot for this one yet because it does take up a lot of room, but I think I actually might find a spot for it in my bedroom because it has a lot of really nice pink tones in there, so I think that it will match really nicely. But I will need to find a little plant stand for it first. Right now we just have side tables in there, and that's basically the only furniture because our dresser is in the office, but I think I can find something for this, or maybe even a macrame hanger. So yeah, guys, that's it for the haul portion of this video. I hope you guys loved the plants that I got. I really love them, and I can't wait to grow them. It's honestly been so long since I've bought a plant, so it felt really good to just spend a little money on something that I really wanted to spend my money on. If you haven't already checked out Vermeers, and if you can't actually go there, check out their website. They do offer plant runs shipping across Ontario, or at least Southern Ontario. So if you want some of their plants, they do have an online website, and they also offer that Southern Ontario shipping. So go check them out. I'll try to leave a link down below, but if not, it's just Vermeers in Welland. So guys, while I'm not going to propagate any of these plants, I did want to show you that I updated this shelf a little bit. It was kind of the shelf where things went to die or where I forgot about things. So I decided to make it a little bit more important, if you want to put it that way. I put some plants on here that I care about a little bit more than the plants that I did have on here, so that I do come over and look more often. So in the back here, I have some of my Syngoniums that I will be monitoring because obviously this is a pretty bright light and I want to make sure that they're not getting burnt. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking up on those guys and making sure that I can keep up with their watering under this light. But I also have some of my favorite Hoyas in hopes that they will sun stress. Then down on this shelf, I actually just took a plant from here the Waluigi, is that what it was? One of the plants that I just purchased was just sitting right there, but I haven't put it back yet. Other than that though, I have this Monstera species here that I really love. It's looking really nice. The leaves are getting smaller as they come out, so I may have to figure out a little moss pole or some support for this one. But this is one that I want to propagate here. This is my Silver Hero, the Scindapsus Silver Hero, and I put it on a moss pole, but there were a few nodes where it skipped putting out leaves. So I thought that this would be a really great opportunity to chop it up and, you know, maybe make some money. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop as close as I can to the this leaf here. Let's see what I can do. I think I'm gonna have to take it off the pole here. So I'm just gonna undo this tape. Just pull it away a little bit so it makes cutting that easier. There we go. So I may sell this as an unrooted cutting, but I am going to put it into water until I find someone who's interested in this, or I might keep it for myself. I think I'm going to cut off the bottom nodes that don't have any leaves on them and maybe throw them in a little box filled with perlite. I have a little bit of perlite left in here, so I may set up like a little Tupperware and just put some wet sticks in there. But yeah, hopefully that encourages some nicer growth on my Scindapsus Silver Hero. I really love this plant, and I'm actually really happy that I ended up putting it on the moss pole because I think it just looks so much more beautiful upright like this. So I'll keep you updated if this guy grows better now that it's on the moss pole. I'm just gonna put the cutting over here for now. If I take any other cuttings, whoops, I will put them there too. And then once I've finished cutting everything, I'll just put them all into water. I could also cut my Philodendron squamiferum, but these guys aren't going for as much as they used to, and I really love the way that it looks right now. So I don't think that the value of this plant is worth it for me to cut it, if you understand what I'm saying. I would rather just have it a nice full plant at this point because, yeah, it just looks really nice and there's active growth. So I think it would be a shame to cut this one. I've had a lot of questions lately from people asking if I'm ready to cut my Gloriosum, whether that be they'd like a piece or, you know, just curiosity. I definitely could cut this, but unfortunately there's no aerial roots growing yet, or soil roots even. So what I think I need to do is air layer this guy because I don't want any of the leaves to die off in the process. It's actually really funny. I got this little baby leaf that just grew in from under the soil there. So I may have to separate that eventually, but yeah, I don't think this one is quite ready to cut yet. So I wasn't actually planning on cutting my Syngonium wendlandii, but now that I'm here, I'm thinking, why not, right? Because it is a bushy plant and they grow really quickly, so I may as well just make a propagation, even if it's for me to just put back in the soil. All right, so there's our little propagation. I think it looks adorable and it gives us lots of stem to work with to throw into the water. So yeah, I'll let this callus for a little bit and then we will get back to putting it in the water. I also thought that I would show you guys this. This is my Mandula pothos, and I actually just recently uprooted this because it was looking really, really sad, and I was losing a lot of leaves on it, and I found out that that was because there were no roots left. The roots had rotten for some reason. I don't exactly know what that reason was because I thought that I was keeping on top of this one, but yeah, we just have these 3 leaves left, which is fine. I think it will bounce back no problem. In the water, it has all of these nodes to grow roots from. So yeah, hopefully we get some healthy root growth back on this guy. But for now, it's just chilling in some water. If it stays in here for its life, I'm okay with that too. But yeah, I think it looks kind of cute in here anyways. So in the cabinet here, I have my Albo Syngonium, which you guys may see. It looks a little bit different than it did last time, and that's because a lot of the leaves were falling off, and I noticed that one of the stems was actually rotting at the base of the plant for some reason. I think it may be time to repot this one and just kind of get some new fresh soil in there, some new amendments. But what I was able to salvage is a little stick that I'll show you. So this here is the elbow syngonium stick that I was able to recover from the plant. And this will go in that same prop box that I want to put the empty nodes of the Syndapsis Silver Hero in. I really hope that it does okay in the prop box because syngoniums are kind of notorious for rotting, unfortunately, but we're gonna make it work. Another plant that's definitely ready to be propagated is this Philodendron Campos Partuanum. So we're definitely gonna cut this guy. I think, actually, I don't know if it's ready. It doesn't have any nubs for aerial roots, and I don't want to cut it too far down because propagations with lots of leaves don't typically do very well. So I actually may leave this one be for another couple weeks and see if it develops any aerial roots. I think that it's just growing so quickly that the nodes don't have enough time to develop as quickly as they should be. I think I'll just keep that as is for now. Another plant that I'm actually going to be propagating is my sport variegated monstera. This new shoot that it put out is not super variegated. There is some variegation on that leaf there, but I don't see much going on this other leaf. I originally wasn't going to be able to cut this off, and I was a little bit worried that this was just going to be a spent node, but it started shooting out this little growth here, which is below this where I would cut. So yeah, we're actually going to be okay. So I'm going to cut it here where there's that little nub, but above this so that it has somewhere to grow from. And hopefully that will give us some extra variegation. All right, so I tried my best to make that as clean of a cut as possible, but it wasn't really letting me, and I probably should have grabbed a knife, but I didn't. Anyways, we have a few different places for this guy to root, so even if this does eventually rot at the bottom there, it will be fine. I think you guys can see the variegation a little bit better there now. But if you want to try your hand at this plant, definitely let me know. It's not going to put out any more variegation. I actually think that this leaf is all that lighter green color, which is kind of funny because if you look at this leaf, the green is really dark, but we don't have any dark green on this leaf. So I don't know. If you want to try this out, I will happily sell this off for a really reasonable price. But yeah, DM me if you're interested in working on this guy. For the time being, I'm going to keep this guy in here to try to get the most variegation out of that new growth. And then once I put this into water, I'm going to let it callus for a little bit longer than the other plants. But once I do put it into water, I will keep it in the cabinet as well, as I've seen the best variegation out of that plant in this cabinet. All right, guys, so I actually think that this is it for the propagation. Let's go see what we can do with this stuff. I don't think I'm going to let any of these guys callus for too long before I put them into water. I haven't really had any failure just plopping them right into water. I think I'll wait a little bit longer for the monstera though. All right, so I'm going to use this mug here to propagate. I've used this many times before for different propagations. And I'm going to throw the syngonium in there. As I said before, I'm also going to cut up this little, what is this, Syndapsis Silver Hero. And yeah, we'll just do the bottom two nodes here. I'm gonna put a little bit more water into here, and then I'll just stick it in the top and make sure that the leaves don't get submerged. Okay, I think that that looks good. I'm gonna put it up on the windowsill here to get as much light as it can, because propagations definitely could do with some extra light. Again, I'm going to keep this out of water for just a little bit so that the bottom here can callus. But I also want to chop up this syngonium little wet stick here. So we could potentially have a lot of really cool plants come from here. Hopefully they all survive, but I'm not really that optimistic about it. I'm going to grab a little Tupperware container and get some perlite laid down, and then I'll plop these guys on top. So you just want to make sure the perlite is damp. I like to make it fluffy too, just to make sure that it's aerated. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of drop these in here and push them in a tiny, tiny bit to make sure that the roots are in contact with the perlite. All right, and that's basically all that you have to do to node propagate. I'm going to put this lid on top for some added humidity, and then every day I'm going to open it up just to make sure that the propagations get some air. Yeah, I think that they will do okay. I'll make sure that they're in a spot where they're getting a little bit of light as well, but I think they'll be happy in there. Well guys, unfortunately that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it anyways. I really enjoyed making the video for you. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and join as a member if you'd like to see some extra content. Also, again, a huge thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to check them out down in the description below. You'll see my personalized link there, and you will get 20% off your order. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I will see you guys in the next one.